Peeps, greetings everyone. It is I, your one and only multipotentialite, neurodivergent host,
the Kosmic Jedi. Welcome back to my channel.
Let's talk about the Last of Us show. Season 2 is done. I watched the last episode and I'm not really impressed with this season, to be honest.
Willingly? Yes.
It just feels lackluster.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I know they were following what happened in the game, and I haven't had a thought that if only the first game existed, would HBO still have done season 2?
Don't ask questions.
Because I know some companies, despite the source material, sometimes they would take liberties with a few things, tweak a few things here and there. Certain things that don't translate well in the game to live action, they will alter. So I was thinking, would they have done a season 2 if there was no second game at all? Would HBO still have found a way to get Neil Druckmann to write something to get the show still going for season 2 and season 3? Because the first season was beautiful. And this is coming from someone who hasn't played the game, or I started playing it, but haven't finished the game, both games. So I went into the first season knowing the game would get spoiled for me, but I didn't mind because the concept makes sense. Post-apocalyptic world with infected human beings and monsters. I was here for it. I was here for it. This is the one show I would say has that scary zombie horror, whatever mutated human beings element to it that I would watch. Because I did a trailer reaction recently for Welcome to Derry with the clown in the Derry town, and I thought to myself, that doesn't make sense to make that kind of world an episodic series, even though the original series was on TV. Yeah. But that's then, and this is now. I feel anything to do with Derry and the It clown or the It monster work well in the cinema. I don't know how they're going to make the show interesting and engaging for the audience as an episodic series. Like each week, what can you do to keep us coming back? Especially when you took the series from, or you took the IP from the TV series, or from book to TV series to then cinema, and then now you're taking it back to TV series again. Maybe then it worked because it wasn't something people expected. And then again, I don't even know how many horror TV shows were out in the past. It's not like there was a Nightmare on Elm Street horror TV show. That one I would watch. They even did a Chucky series. That didn't go so well.
Willingly? Yes.
With this one, I thought it made sense. Anything to do with post-apocalyptic reality plus zombies. Just like The Walking Dead, I feel it's like a no-brainer. That would definitely work as an episodic thing. I would still have watched The Last of Us if it was a movie, to be honest, because I didn't even mind a trilogy. If they plan to do a movie as a trilogy for The Last of Us, I was here for it. Even though I had not finished playing the game yet, I said, nah, I need to watch this one. It just feels like it's going to be done well. The intro was beautiful. The pacing was beautiful. How they followed the story from the games, shot for shot. Took a few things here and there, yes, but they let certain things settle a lot more when you're watching the show, because playing the game, you're feeling the emotions and the character because you're playing as Joel. But when you're doing the show, there are things you can miss out a bit. It's a slight gamble, but it just made sense that this show would work. And it did for me. I enjoyed the first season, thoroughly enjoyed it. I was looking forward to every scene where they were infected. What do they call is it quarterplates, whatever they called? I was thirsting for scenes like that. I was like, yeah, give me more of these monsters devouring the human beings. And then the more the show explored the world, the more I was like, you know what? I'm siding with the mushroom fungus more and more, because for me, especially with the way I think these days, I just see it as a grand reset for Earth. Earth is like, I need to reset the environment in some way, shape, or form. So the best way to wipe all humans out, you could say, as painless as possible. I don't know if the transformation is painful. If it's painful, hey, basically, I just saw it from Earth's perspective. These guys are becoming a nuisance. What? Too many things have gone out of hand. So the best way for me to handle these people is just bring them all under one roof as things were before. The hive mind thing makes sense to me. Since you were given free will and a lot of, disorderly people have been misusing that free will. It's sad, but I accept it. This isn't our planet, meaning we didn't build this planet. We didn't make it ourselves. We exist here. We were seated here. And so for the bunch of people doing dumb shit on this planet,
Damn.
and that's now implicating all of us. I wish the fungus was more precise with selecting the douchebags and then the idiots and incompetent, wicked souls doing dumb shit. I wish the fungus was more precise, and I'm gonna get you suckers, all of you suckers doing, nonsense, trafficking, pedophilia, filthy nonsense. Politicians, yeah, go for them motherfuckers. Shit. If y'all won't stop, I'll make you guys stop. So, here comes the fungus taking over, because based on what the show has shown us and what the story is being told, a number of human beings have become very putrid, very, very disgusting, very nasty, very wicked, mean. It's like they're worse than they were before. In a world where you have things chasing you, you would think that everyone would say, you know what, we've done too much. Here's that word again, we. Yeah. This can be a time where things are addressed properly. The way things are now with these infected fungus driven people are running around attacking us. This is our chance to reset ourselves. This is our chance to say, the last of us can be better. The last of us can do better, not get worse.
That boy is good.
Creating factions,
You ain't lying.
becoming dumber,
Damn.
becoming mean and wicked. I mean, there are other factions that they were living in harmony, of course. You want to see those people grow and transform the world so that way the next generation or the future of humanity and Earth is better. It's like you've learned from that lesson. But in some aspects, the show focused on, the downfall of mankind and how worse some of them have gotten, and what people will become, and creating new belief systems and worshiping this self-scarification for the wrong reasons. Just becoming lesser version of this beautiful beingness.
I like this one.
Even though they're stark examples of what it looks like and what it can feel like to become a higher version of this beingness. So again, like I said, I'm on the side of nature where it's like, let me clean house because you guys are just screwing up the whole planet. So I will wipe all of you out. I'm on her side.
Let's start over, shall we?
Because it's not our planet. It's not something we created. It's not a planet you can buy, because that's on a divine cosmic concept. There's no buying or purchasing. There's no receipt for Earth. There's no galactic supermarket you can go to buy a planet. And what are you buying it with? Space coins? Moon money? Crypto moon? Mars money? Crypto Mars? So I enjoyed season 1, but season 2 didn't make sense to me. In terms of certain decisions, like Ellie's decisions, again, I know it's coming from the game, and I watched a lot of videos where people were saying some people were hoping they would have left it in season 1, whereas others argued when the story carries over into part 2 from the game, why would they leave the show at season 1? Especially when it's a normal thing to do when you introduce a story to the masses, and it's a good story. You want to milk it for as long as you can.
He ain't lying.
I mean, not every story needs to have a season 2. There's some stories out there that are better off one and done. One season, done, and it works. Not everything needs a sequel. Not everything needs a prequel. Not everything needs a season, a second season, third season, fourth season, and so on and so forth.
Well, duh.
Although some shows do well, like The Walking Dead. I don't know how that show has gone on. I don't know how that show has gone on so long and then spawned into different factions and different aspects of the show. I've not even sat down to watch one full episode of that show, let alone a whole season.
Damn.
But kudos to that show. Another show that I liked that was to do with zombies. I won't say it's a post-apocalyptic. It's Kingdom.
Nice.
Kingdom, that was on Netflix. That was a very, very beautiful, well done show. And I'm waiting for season 2. Steadily waiting for season 2. But with this Last of Us season 2, it was lackluster. I know they're following the story in the part 2 game. But that's why I asked the question earlier on. If there was no sequel to the game, which many people didn't like, and on the other hand, a lot of people loved, so it's mixed feelings, mixed feelings towards the game. Do you think HBO would have gotten Neil Druckmann to write a second season, even though there was no second game? Hypothetically speaking, of course, if there was no second game, do you think HBO would be like, yo, the first season did very well, write us a second season? Because I've heard whispers that they're pushing this to season 4. From 3 to 4, they haven't really officialized it yet, but it's been greenlit for season 3, I'm assuming.
What do you mean by that?
I'm hearing rumors and whispers that they're going to do season 4. And especially after certain, I'm going to spoil the part. I'm going to spoil the show now. For those of you who haven't seen the show, I'm going to spoil it now. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. So after Joel dies in season 2, I was shocked. Yeah. As much as I've seen certain spoilers for both games, I didn't know that part. I didn't know Joel dies in the second game. So seeing him die on the show, I was like, okay, so now you've killed Pedro Pascal off. Even my brain was like, for us to keep watching the show, that means Ellie and the other characters have to carry the show. But you didn't pay Pedro Pascal to only feature in a number of episodes from the start, and that's it. You were definitely going to be getting some flashbacks. So that means they've shot everything and they're rearranging the order of certain things. So I was like, okay, so that means we're still going to see some Pedro Pascal, but in flashback moments. Fine, it's cool. But moving forward, we're going to have to rely on Ellie and other characters for intelligent dialogue, for action, for intelligence, for wisdom, and all other characters as well. Certain characters that came on screen that were introduced, I was like, that's cool. Yeah. But I realized I was missing something, which is the mushroom monsters.
Damn, son.
I was wondering why they didn't feature them a lot more in this season, even though I know it's taken from the second game. Was it something that they deliberately did, or is it in the game where you encountered the mushroom infected less compared to the first game because there was more story in the second game? I don't know if it's something that they're following straight from the game. The second game featured less mushroom zombies and more emotional scenes, more character development. And if that's the case, then cool. I guess they're following the exact path of both games. But season 1 was so good that I thought they had nowhere else to go but up when it came to season 2. So I didn't really like the second season, and not because of certain decisions that were made. I could care less. I'm here for the story and the world. But when it came to the revenge story for Joel, I was half expecting his brother to go on the journey with Ellie, but then they switched it up and they made Ellie and the other character go. I was like, okay, cool. But as soon as they got to where they were going and the way Ellie was acting, I was like, she's not acting like someone who's competent enough. It looks like she's relying on this friend of hers to make certain decisions. There were times where she would hold the gun a particular way. I was like, oh, wait, is this how the game is, where I thought the game would have made her more developed, like the world they live in after the first game, after what Joel did to those people, and after her having an idea and figuring out eventually what he did. We still live in a world where there are infected creatures out there that can eat us. They can destroy us, quickly.
What?
And you got different types of them, not just the regular ones you just run up. You got the big ones, you got the small ones, I think they're rat versions as well. So you got different forms of infected creatures in the environment. Why isn't Ellie made to be more competent in this second season? She doesn't feel like someone who is grown, not just in her emotions, but in her mannerisms. Like, I'm not saying be cold to everyone and be blunt to everyone and fuck you. And nah, I'm talking about, I'm in this safe haven, but any day now, that haven could come under fire or under attack from other factions or the infected. Anything could happen. Or what if I get infected out there with some form of disease or infection that's not zombie related or whatever, and I come into the camp and then people start getting sick because I ate something out there funny or I got bitten by. There's so much things that could happen. So I just felt she should be more on her guard, but she didn't feel like someone who had grown to be tougher. Some episodes, they make me feel like this person cannot carry a second season on her own or with supporting actors and actresses, nor can this person carry a real life revenge story. It didn't feel like it. You're trying to avenge Joel. She didn't feel like someone who, they didn't depict her as someone who, she carried herself a particular way to the public. Like, oh, she's okay. She's coping with Joel's death. Whereas inside, as soon as she caught one of the people who were part of this group of people who watched Joel die. I don't know. There was one scene where she encountered one and I was like, nah, that's not how I would have done it. Nah, I want you to look into my eyes, make you think I was incapable, but I'm very capable.
Damn, son.
It wasn't done well enough. It didn't look like someone who was filled with rage. She was just angry, but there was no rage. And it wasn't like loose cannon rage, just rage but very methodic about it. Like, I'm pissed off. I want their heads, but I'm going to be patient and methodic about it. So if she had gone on her own, just talking about the character in the world, not that, oh, they have to follow this path because of the game. In the world as is, if she had gone on her own, she would not have survived that journey. She'd have probably killed 1 or 2 people from the wolf pack. What? Or whatever they call ELF or MMF. She would not have gotten to the main chick that killed Joel. There's no way, realistically.
That's right.
Joel would not have been avenged the way they chose to write her in this season. In the first season, there was something they were doing that I liked. But I guess because Joel was the main, the character we were following, as well as her, he was the guy quick with the gun and whatnot. So I thought they would have beefed up that part of her character where, listen, in case Joel is never around, even though we're in this safe haven environment, in case you happen to be out there for whatever reason, in case you happen to be out in the wilderness in the open again, you need to be about your gun. You need to be precise on your kill, setting traps out. I'd love to see her setting traps in this season. Maybe watching how certain, just be more, I don't know, more real, more raw. If she was on her own, there's no way that lady would have carried out this version of Ellie would have carried out that revenge journey on her own in the world they've built. Let's ignore the part 2 of the game first. Just saying the world is real, Ellie's real. She would not have managed a revenge story on her own. In Seattle, I didn't know that there were factions fighting the wolf ELF people. So the fact that 2 people enter an environment where the 2 factions are at war, it felt highly unreal. This didn't feel real. This is unrealistic. You two of you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And you happen to be sneaking here. As one faction has dogs, and you're it's like random. You have to listen out to radios. I was like, nah. You could argue that because they're distracted, the 2 factions are distracted with each other, it'd be easy for 2 people that you're not expecting to see to sneak in. But there were times where there were close encounters. So much so there was a scene where Ellie got grabbed. And I was like, okay, so how would you explain her escape in this one? Because she's had someone come to save her like once or twice. How many times do you have someone come to save this character again? Because you're not showing us, unless the narrative or the essence of this season was you can't survive without family, without people, without community. Yeah, but you could have had someone do a dialogue on that one. I mean, even the audience can tell. In this environment, if this was a real world scenario, the whole point of the future is community. There's no solo hero, no one-man army nonsense here. Even the infected mushroom monsters work together. That's something we can learn from them this time around, being that with the last of us, with the last of humanity, that's something we need to implement in our psyche, whether we like it or not. If you're saying we're going to continue the human species on this planet and survive this infection, indirectly saying or proving to nature we can do better, you better learn how to hive mind. You better learn that Professor Xavier, collective hive mind stuff. Otherwise, forget it. Just fuck it. Just run into the room where the zombies are. Let them eat you. So you become part of a proper family. Because that's a family. They're functioning very well. Very effective hunters. Very effective monsters. They ain't got no rent to pay, no bills to pay. They ain't got no worries, no stress. They're not worried about being too fat, too skinny, too tall, too short. They're not worried about whether someone's going to like them because of their skin color, their pigment, or there's no racism.
That boy is good.
No rich, no poor, no luxury, no wars, no cryptocurrency, no poverty.
Damn.
Nothing. It's one big happy family, and it works.
Willingly? Yes.
It's funny that the monsters are operating as one unit, one team.
Nice.
The monsters, whereas the other, the civilized or the last of us are operating as douchebags. You mean after all that's gone on, you guys still have factions? You can't even come together to work together as one. This is a chance where you can prove to nature we can do it. We can do better. Give us another chance. What can you learn from this? If you survive this, what will you take into the future? If you become the next generation, the next people to seed the planet, what will you learn from this? How precise will you be in your growth, in your transformation, in your evolution? What if this is a lesson, this is a warning saying, if you don't fix up, this is what I'll do to you guys and worse. You had the free will, you messed it up. So now it's going to be the hive mind thing. It's all going to be all under my control, all under one umbrella, because you seem to not appreciate the freedom to be expressive and creative differently. It doesn't mean because you had the freedom mean you should go and cause disharmony to the planet and to other people and to animals and creatures and whatnot. But anyway, That's my 2 cents for the second season of The Last of Us. Didn't really enjoy it. Preferred the first season. First season was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't know what they're going to do with the third season because they're going to follow the story from the game. And again, whatever creative decisions were made in the second game, I don't care. I'm here for the story, the world, and the experience. But when you substitute the zombies and the mushroom monsters for other things, I can choose to say, you know what, let me sidestep from this one. This isn't what I thought it was going to be based on the first season. And especially if they're following the letter from the second game, then I can't sit here and say, you know, you should know whether it should be or shouldn't be. They're following the footsteps of the game. So therefore, I bow out because the first season was just beautiful. It got me nicely. I wanted more zombies and more mushroom infected. Even when I heard they were doing the second season, I was like, I don't know what we need to see in the second season. Like, how many times can you tell the viewers that humanity is the monster? Because we saw that people are doing their best to live with each other, take care of each other, protect each other, take turns in shift, take turns in patrol. So where Ellie and Joel ended up with Joel's brother Tommy, that's a sign. I'm okay with one of those. Eventually, with that one, we become two, because they could have either become like the wolf faction, whatever they're called, or the overly superstitious faction. They could become either of those two, or worse, or a combination of both. So if I'm doubting humanity and I'm doubting myself, maybe we deserve death, we deserve punishment. It's we think. There's that word again. Maybe we deserve pain and suffering. But when I can see over there and say, hold on a minute, there's a group of people living there very well. They're training each other. They're learning how to farm. They're honing in their each personal individual skills, whilst also learning new skills to look after each other. They're doing their best in this infested world where, you know, this thing is out to wipe out all human beings for good reason. That group of people are still doing their best to maintain some truth, balance, harmony, righteousness, love, and sanity. Whereas this other group is doing nonsense. If you keep showing me this other group, I don't care less. As long as I've seen a glimpse of this one, I'm okay. You can tell, you know, but the story is supposed to be, look at how bad humanity. Yeah, but you show me that aspect. As long as I've seen that seed in my head, that's what I'm planting in here. I don't care about these two trees. These two trees are poisonous. That tree or that bush is what I'm here for. Because you show me these two trees are huge and growing and their roots is just poisoning the whole soil. Yeah. But that one, that's hope. That's telling me that it's doable. Yeah. It's doable. If there's one group of people who are living in harmony, then there's bound to be another group of people around the world, scattered all over the whole planet, doing exactly the same thing. You can tell me that there's a bunch of people pillaging and raping each other. Yeah. Oh, shame. Cannibals. Oh, what a shame. Eating each other. What a shame. They're gutting each other. Oh, it's disgusting. But over there, that's where my mental focus, my third eye, my mind's eye is going over there. So are they doing well? Are they living in harmony? I'm okay with that. You can show me all the bad stuff you want to show me. Thank you, by the way, for your information. But the fact that I can see this, you show me this, I don't care how many seasons you put out to tell me how bad mankind can be. Even Ellie, who's supposed to be the savior of mankind, she can be turned as well and become dark. She just has revenge in her heart. For good measure.
Damn, son.
This is coming from someone who hasn't played the game or finished the game, both games. If it was expressed explicitly in the game that the cure they would have derived from Ellie is it's not even that it was hypothesis. It was a done deal, meaning all we have to do is put her to sleep, extract what we need from her, mass produce it, and everyone will be saved. But even on top of that, I understand why Joel did what he did. Do I agree with it? I don't know, but I understand it, because in a world where people are satisfied with murdering each other and gutting each other and doing nefarious, disgusting things to each other, do I want this one person who hasn't been tainted by this disgustingness to sacrifice or to be given or to give their lives or their life as a sacrifice to save everyone, so that way they're immune to the infection? They're already infected mentally, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally. They're already compromised.
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
So if you use Ellie as a Jesus symbol, she dies for their sins. All the shit they've done doesn't just disappear from their psyche. It's still in their head.
Get this man a shield.
The habits they're used to, the patterns they're used to. So they just become friends now. So all the factions fighting each other just become friends because Ellie was dissected and we have the cure. So you have the cure, and then what? What's the proof that you will change and become better people because the cure is now? So that's the, nah. Nah. So what Joel did, again, do I agree? I said, I get it. I get it. If it was explicit that killing Ellie will definitely 1,000 Omega level galactic supernova % cure every human being, even the infected, then I can see why everyone's pissed. Or I can see why some people are like, oh, he shouldn't have killed those people because they were going to cure human race for sure. It wasn't his call, but nor was it their call per se. You want to save humanity? Be like that group. Be like that group of people. So people who started forming their own level of new religion and then, run around gutting people, whatever. Be like that group of people who are living in harmony, who are building, who are monitoring the generators, who are running different shifts, who are running patrols, who are growing food, who are planting food. Be like that group. You ain't gotta sacrifice one child's life and then avoid being, if that group of people can exist in an infected world and not be tainted by the infection, or have one or two mushroom people creep into their fortress, then it's doable. Then Ellie would be like, you know what, now that I know you guys can for sure complete this experiment or this procedure with 100% accuracy, divine celestial cosmic supernova accuracy, then go ahead. And at least Ellie is old enough to say, I'm willing to be the beacon of light for everyone to have a future. But those guys have a future. Like I said, I can see that you show me a faction that is living well, doing the best that they can. Then my focus won't be on this faction killing people and shooting people with guns, whilst this other faction is slicing people's guts open. I don't care. Yeah, I see them, but no. This is where my horizon is set on, because I see hope here and I see truth. Because the show didn't make me feel that the procedure was 100% guarantee. Even in the first season, they were not specific, unless I need to watch it again. They weren't specific enough to say this is 100% guarantee it will work. Every human being will be cured, including the infected. So when it's ambiguous, then Joel, I'm like, yeah, Joel did what he did. Do I agree? Hey, he did what he did. I understand it. In a filthy world where all of you are just doing nonsense to each other, I think I would let this person, especially when he already lost his daughter, so he sees her as his own child. Nah, you must be crazy. You think I'll let this one innocent child give her life for all of you? You don't even know she exists. You're not even striving to be better. They've allowed themselves to get worse. Nah. Certain episodes I just watched, I was half asleep sometimes because it was just boring. Like, where's the monsters at? Where's the hard conversations? There was even one scene where, Ellie expressed what happened and why those people came to kill Joel. It wasn't rich enough for me, man. What? If that was me, I wouldn't have let Ellie pull me into that situation. Me and you are going into an environment where there are a number of people in each factions fighting each other. So if they catch each other slipping, whoever they catch slipping is dead. Anyway, let me leave it there, man. It was okay, but it was definitely nowhere close to the first season. This second season was okay. Now, will I watch the third season? Not with excitement.
What do you mean by that?
If I catch a hint that they are pushing for season 4, then I'm signing out.
Damn.
I don't feel I need to watch this whole thing get drawn out. This is what I was worried about when season 1 was done. I was like, I hope they leave it alone. But the back of my brain, I was like, well, there's a second game, so surely they're going to do a second season. I was like, okay, cool. But if they're going to do a second season for people like myself, I would like more zombies. I like more monsters, more mushroom, different versions or different variations of the mushroom kingdom monsters, whatever. They didn't do enough of that. 1 or 2 episodes, yes, but I wanted more, especially where they had the horde just coming for them. That was, come on. I was like, yeah, now we're back in action.
He ain't lying.
Now we're back in action. I was like, yes, maintain this something here. Don't be showing me all these whimsical one-on-one nonsense conversations. This is pointless in the grand scheme of things, man. Yes, it's the human element of the show, of course. But it's also the collective human element, not just personalized human. No, you already give me factions. If you give me factions, the personalized human element doesn't really matter, because now my focus is all over the place. Human element, the one-on-one human element, factions, and then the mushrooms, because I'm on the side of the mushroom with nature. Wipe them out. Wipe all of them out. Reset the whole shit. Or, be specific with your mushroom transformation. Go for, if you can, since, the mushroom is, the tentacles is growing, go for douchebags. I wish it was very specific with who it attacked. He said, don't attack innocent people who aren't doing, this person is murdered people. That's the rapist right there. Go for the rapist. That's a corrupt official. Go for the corrupt official. That's the person who's thinking of making poison. Go for that. Go for the people. You be tactical with your Be selective. Be tactical with your with your tentacles. Go for the ones that you watch this person's bloodline. That person has been wicked since their grandfather. Go for them. Go for them. Don't just. There are a lot of us who haven't even started thinking of what we want to become as human beings, as people. So go for the wicked ones who are constantly perpetuating nonsense on the planet. Please, I beg. I'm on her side, but I would like it to be more precise. Go for the ones who yes, that is that one. His father before him. His father's father. Father, mother. Go for that. Go for their whole bloodline.
Damn, son.
Anyway, that's me done. Let me know what you think about the Last of Us. Those of you who are fans of the game, I'm okay. I'll never play both games.
What?
I think I'm getting tired of that zombie element of games now. It's too much. It's too much. I've not sat down to play a full Resident Evil game, whether it's a remaster or whatever version. It's just too scary for me.
Damn, son.
Last of Us 1 and 2 is a game I do not see myself playing at all, unless it's a high demand thing. I don't know. And if I ever do play it and stream it, it's going to be a very slow burner. It might take me months to finish. It might take me a little while to finish because I won't be in a hurry. But I don't have a joy or excitement in my bones right now to play it, compared to wanting to play like Returnal or looking forward to a new Devil May Cry game, for example. There's an excitement there. Or like the new Ghost of Yotei. I want to play that. But there's zero excitement to play the Last of Us series. So for those of you who are fans of the game, let a brother know in the comment section, did you enjoy the season and the previous season as well? Are you looking forward to a third season? How long can you hold on for the show? Like if they do a fourth season, fifth season, how long do you think you can hang in there for the show? Are you here till the wheels fall off? Or you're like, do you have a limit where you're like, hey, season 4, as I cut it off? Or season 3 that's where season 3, I won't watch it like I did this one.
But why?
Because season 1, I watched every episode. And this one I did as well. But I was looking forward to each episode last season. This season, I was apprehensive. I was like, this episode might be trash. But I watched everything and hoping to enjoy and experience in the show. It wasn't up to scratch. It wasn't even as good as the first season for me.
Willingly? Yes.
But anyway, I'm Adi Peeps. I have been your one and only multipotentialite, neurodivergent host.
The Kosmic Jedi signing out. Thank you for watching.